Yo, what's going on? I wasn't saying anything yet. I was checking something out. Sorry about that. What's going on, everyone? How are you guys doing today? Or I should say tonight. But I hope you all are doing well. What's going on, Var Noob Gravity Exploits? How's it going? We're just getting started real quick. Alright. I'll wait a little bit, let some people join in before we get started. Let me open up my sign up project while I do that. So I was streaming earlier today, and there was a lot of stuff that we got done. So just to give you like a little recap of what I was doing this morning, I was able to protect the route for the group and the conversation. So that way, if the user does not belong to the conversation or the group, then they'll get redirected. I'm chilling, just finished my side project of making DB. Nice, nice. Congrats on that. Hey, EC Nuke, how are you doing? Okay. So, we got a lot more stuff to do. One thing that I need to fix is this issue that I figured out this morning based off of what I saw when we were testing out. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Make sure you guys drop that like button on the stream. It would really help out with the algorithm a lot. I'd really appreciate it. So if you haven't already, please be sure to drop that like button. Good, this is gonna be the last stream I can watch for because I got dark coming up. What's dark? Hey, what's going on, Devil Services? How are you, my friend? Still waiting for that one test code. Good to hear, good to hear. Alright. Alright, so just go ahead and just start up my application. So let's read the script. And I gotta build a landing page soon. It's a training facility. Dark specializes in a myriad of technical strategic planning. Oh, I see. Well, that sounds really interesting. Well, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun, so I wish you the best luck with that. Okay, so basically we were able to get it so right now if I try to go ahead and access maybe a group that I don't belong in, so it's in 46. So I type in some random group that does not exist, it'll redirect me over here. And I should be able to remove myself from a group. Hey, what's going on, Kelvin? How are you? So watch this. So who am I logged in as? Alright, so let me go ahead and create a group between these two users. Maybe let's do... So we got a group of 5 users, I think. And let's just log into one of these accounts. So Doesn't really matter who we log in as. Well, actually, we do need to log in as the creator. So let's do that. Well, that's likely your internet connection because we're streaming at 1080p right now. So I'll log in as... Alright, so... Right now... let's go over here. Let's go over here. Where's the group that we created? I think it's this one. 47? Alright, cool. Hey, what's going on, Ahmed? How are you? I'm doing good. How are you? So I'm going to go ahead and add the recipient. Okay, so we see that the group pops up when we add it. Now, if I go ahead and remove that user, you're going to see that it disappears and it navigates us away from that group. Now, that's all good. But here's the problem, though, right? So let me go ahead and add that user back to that group. And if I click add recipient, you can see that the group gets added, okay? Now watch this. If I am in another group, and if I kick that user, you'll see that it's still going to navigate us back to groups. So that's the one bug that we accidentally implemented into our system or our application. So we'll have to fix that. The reason why that's happening is because when we receive the WebSocket event, we're navigating the user no matter what. We should only navigate the user if the route that they're currently in is in the group. But yeah, we'll have to fix it though, so no worries. That's good to hear, Ahmed. Good to hear. I'm glad you're doing good. What time is it for you right now? It's probably like maybe like 5 a.m. ish, right? Or 6 a.m. It's 7:08 p.m. over here for me right now. I'm gonna have to start learning WebSocket because my application is gonna need it to use it for one of my features, and I'll have a so. For some reason, YouTube's auto put 4080. Yeah, YouTube does that. Sometimes it's annoying, but it's all good. 10 p.m. over here. Oh, so you must be at East Coast. Nice. I'm over at the West Coast. All right. We got a lot to do tonight, so let's go ahead and first fix this bug. So basically, if you look right over here, when we listen to this on group removed event, you can see that right over here, we are navigating to the groups page. And that shouldn't happen unless the user is actually in the actual group page. Now, how do we actually know if the user is actually in the group? Well, there's multiple ways that we can check this, right? One thing that we could do is we can get the let me see. Let me think about this real quick. ExitTube, how are you? Welcome. I'm going to go for a walk. I've been at a PC for now. Alright, no worries, Gravity. Alright, so we want to make it so that way the user should only be navigated away from the group unless, only if they're in the group. Yeah, so we can definitely get the route parameter. But the problem here is that on this group page, right, the route parameter ID is null because we're on this page over here, okay? Now, so what we could do is this, right? The navigation only needs to happen. Actually, you know what? The navigation really only needs to happen if the user is in the same group that matches this group over here. But if I were to use the hook in this page, the value I think would be undefined, I believe. I can double check. Actually, it probably won't be because I have the value over here. Yeah, I think actually I think it actually wouldn't be undefined, so we can actually do it this way. Yeah, so let's log that ID and let's test this out. So let me go and open up my logs and let's do this. Let's do that. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go inside group number 6. I'll add Anson to this group. I think we might need to... There we go. Okay, so the group we were just added in. Now, if I click away, let's go to group number 3, if I remove the user. Okay, so the ID is definitely there. Okay, that's good. So what we can do is this. Now watch this, right? Let's say if I am just in the base route, and let's add the user back. So let's do anson@gmail.com. So the route gets the group gets added. Now let's remove the user. You can see that ID is undefined, so we can just basically conditionally call the navigate function. So something like ID. So let's do this. If ID and ID. So this is actually, I think, a string. So let's do this. Is equal to payload.group.id. Okay. So if these two match, then we will redirect. So let's just do console.log. Navigating. And let's see. Let's just go ahead and call navigate. We'll go to navigate groups. Coding at 3 a.m. It's actually 7 p.m. for me right now. So we'll navigate to the groups conditionally. And this will remove the group. Okay. So let's go and try this out. So, okay. So let's go ahead and add the user. Okay. Now, if I am in the route, if I remove the user, it's going to navigate us. You can see that ID number 47. Good. Now, let's go over to another group. Let's add the user back. And what I'll do is I'll kick the user again. So we do get removed. It does get removed over here, but we don't get navigated back to groups page. So that's good. That was really good. I was actually thinking maybe a better way to do this is probably check to see if the user is even connected to the room. But we could probably just do it this way. I think that'd be okay. So let me just go ahead and push these changes real quick. So let's do that. Fix bug here. What your company does. Mostly just build out APIs and products for customers to integrate into their application. Like mostly just like building out the core infrastructure for software as a service. Trying to think of a way to be more specific. Yeah, I mostly just focus on like building out APIs, building out products for customers that they can integrate into their application. I don't really want to say too much because I kind of want to keep that private, but I write my commit. Oh, like WordPress, but for backend? No, it's mostly just APIs, really. Thanks for sharing this project with us. You're the best. No worries, no worries, no worries. It's not that I don't want to reveal too much. It's just that I don't really like tell people much about that kind of stuff because I had an issue with I had some issues in the past, and I would like to avoid that as much as possible. So hopefully you guys can understand my concerns. But maybe someday I shall tell you guys. But I could tell you that I used to work for a payment processor company about a year ago. I don't work there anymore, obviously. Alright, so I just pushed this to GitHub. So we should have the latest changes on there. Alright, so now that we fixed that bug, you can go ahead and move this. So this should automatically be put into the completed. So we're done with that, which is good. Let me put the due date as 6, so that way we know when we finished. Okay, perfect. Alright, a couple more things I want to get done today. I think what I would like to do today is probably start working on transferring ownership of the group to another user. And then we also want to add the option for people to leave the group. I think honestly we'll do leave group first. Okay, so we'll do probably leave group first. So that'll be for today. And what else do I have here? And then after we finish the leave group, we'll do transfer group owner. Let me see. All right, there we go. So that's going to be the first two things that we'll work on right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me just play some music real quick. Not that you guys will be able to hear it, but I'll play for myself. Because I don't want to get copyright striked. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Let me roll up my sleeves because we got to get into some intense programming. So, yeah, let's do this. Oh, let me also, before I continue, let me also write something real quick. Let me just write something here real quick. Okay. All right. So let's go to our application right now. So I can go ahead and only kick user, but I cannot transfer owner. Here. What's MobX? Hey, what's going on, Hayden? How are you? Yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. How is everyone going tonight? How is everyone doing? Hey, what's going on, Bits? How are you? Welcome to the stream. This is really cool. I'm a programmer as well. I'm glad that you think this is cool. MobX is state management library. I see, I see. Are you hosting the servers yourself? I'm deploying it to DigitalOcean for testing purposes. We're using DigitalOcean for hosting. All right, so we want to basically, let me see. Well, put, if I remember correctly, put is for replacing the entire thing, and patch is just for an entity, or like a partial entity. Yeah, so the correct method that we should use is patch. So we'll use patch. And so this route is going to be to update the group owner. So well, of course we'll need the group we'll definitely need the group ID. So and the endpoint will be called /owner. So let me see. So the API route should be something that looks like this. Is there like do you guys know if there's any proper way to document your API routes? I think Swagger is one thing, right? But I'm not really much of a fan with it, to fan of Swagger, to be honest. Hey, back on run, how are you? Alright, so I'm just writing down the things that we'll need just to stay a little bit organized. Can you go through what's in your MVC architecture? Sure, I'll go through in just a second. Well, I mean, we're implementing a new controller route, so I'll go through it while I do that. I'm doing good, background run. Nityam, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I'm learning JavaScript by making a Discord bot, and if people say set time are bad, don't listen to them. People will always say X, Y, and Z is bad, but not give you an actual response or an actual reason on why it's bad. And if they ever tell you something is bad, you ask them why is it bad, and if they don't give you a response, then just don't listen to them because you know I don't know, like I've dealt with that a lot myself. Like I don't know, like just don't listen to them. If someone's willing to offer you actual good reason on why certain things are bad, and I'll offer an alternative on what you could do instead of using X, Y, and Z, that is valuable criticism and advice. But if they just say, "Oh, it's bad," it's just like, okay. It's like, for example, like someone will tell me, "Oh, why are you using TypeScript? Use PHP because TypeScript's trash." Okay, but why exactly is TypeScript trash though? You need to give me a reason why. Like you need to convince me on why I should switch from TypeScript to PHP. Hey, what's going on, Oscar? How are you? Okay. Let me see. Doesn't this JS? Might need to set up Swagger UI. I really want to document these API routes properly. Okay, so we'll definitely need auth user. I've played around with it, but not actually built something with it. So we'll need the ID. We'll also need the So we'll definitely need a post. We'll definitely need a request body. Good point. I do see that. Yeah, I don't know what some people's problems are, but some people, I guess, they just feel inferior whenever they tell you that X, Y, and Z is bad. So they feel like they know what they're talking about, but when you ask them, oh, what's better alternative, they stay silent because that's how you know they got caught speaking out of their ass. Because it's just like, well, why would you say that's bad if you can't even offer, a secondary alternative to what is better, So, I mean, I would encourage you though, like if someone ever, does that, you should Google what is better than set interval and set timeout. And if you can actually figure out the answer yourself, then that's even better. But usually like with these types of questions, they're just very like biased and like not even like a type of question that is available for open-ended discussion. So I wouldn't really worry too much about that. It's faster? Oh wow, I didn't know that. Hey, Anon, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Had someone tell me to use JavaScript and TypeScript is trash simply because they don't know TS and are afraid of it, lol. Yeah, like I said, so people just want to feel like they're inferior, and it's really cringe whenever I see stuff like that happen. Okay, so we need the new owner ID. And I think that might probably be it. Okay. I'll probably check it out later on, Med. You can definitely. Why don't you send it to me on Discord? Send it to me via private DM, and I'll take a look at it when I get a chance. Just got here. That looks like quite a bit of decorates on that class. Yeah, this is coming from the class validator package, and they basically take care of validation for us. And so, for example, whenever we send a post request to this endpoint, class validator will ensure that this property is actually there. So ensure that it's not empty, and it'll also ensure that it is also a number as well. All right, so I think I really only need the new owner ID, honestly. And we could probably just fix from here. And so remember when I said I was going to make a notes app a few streams ago, I realized it was way harder. I thought it would be. Hey man, listen, at least you tried. At least you tried. And now you can take that opportunity to figure out what is the difficult part. And you can go from there. Yeah, it's a really good feature. That's part of, well, it's not NestJS specific, but it does really do a lot of good things. The package is called Class Validator, in case you need to catch it. I'm gonna try to do it again when I get better. Hey, listen, at least you tried, man. Like, some people don't even ever try. Like, they never try and they just wonder when they're gonna do it. at least you tried and you got the answer yourself. And now you can just take a step back and learn something that's a little bit more appropriate for your skill level. And then once you get a little bit better, you can then try it again. And if you fail again, you can just do the same process all over again until you actually get to the point where you can actually build a notes app. Hi Anson, when did you start streaming? I just finished breakfast. I just started streaming like maybe 30 minutes ago, but we didn't really do much yet. I only made one commit so far, which was just fixing that bug that I mentioned earlier with the groups, with us being navigated to another to the groups page, even though we weren't in the actual group itself. So I fixed that. Ever get a chance to look at the button handler? I did not. You play games on your PC or just coding? I do play some games from time to time, but not. But I mean, this PC is like mostly for like whatever I want to do. So like when I built out this PC, I just wanted to be able to do whatever I want. And yeah, that's for the most part what I wanted this PC for. Wait, Anson, is your app deployed for us to use? It's deployed onto the server, but it's offline right now because I don't want people to DDoS the server. Hey mate, just wondering why you are using type here instead of interfaces. Realistically, just personal preference. I personally like using interfaces only when I am going to actually implement the interface with a class, and I'll have to override, or not override, implement the actual abstract method. And whenever it comes to a type where I just don't have any methods, I just prefer using just regular types. Like, for example, I mean, I guess with types you could use methods, but I don't know. I just personal preference. But is there a reason why I shouldn't be using types instead of interfaces? Or like, should I, like, is there a certain reason why I should use interface over types? What's going on, Vong? How are you? Welcome back to our stream. Anson, you literally made my VS Code feel so smooth. Yeah, like, this feature is so nice. I found a book called Effective Java that a lot of devs recommend. I read through some of the book and I really like it, but I can't find YouTube videos that explain the entire book. Yeah, some of these books you gotta actually just read in depth and just practice what they have in there. I don't really see much videos of people, doing book reviews on those though. Alright, when you get to it, can I go look at that? Thank you, Golden. Saint Seer, what's going on? How are you? What are the specs of your PC? Yeah, there you go. There's the specs. Oh, Devetical, how's it going? When do you recommend I start learning backend? As soon as you get used to HTML, CSS, and client-sided JavaScript, and you can build an app with with React, then you should start learning how HTTP works, and then you can learn backend with Express. Can you go over your plugins? Sure. Yeah, I really don't use much, but you can see that I have this, but I don't really use Angular, so I'm just gonna uninstall this. I don't really use C#, so I'm gonna uninstall that as well. I do use Dart from time to time, so I'll just leave that alone. I have ESLint, which I think is disabled, I think. I have a couple themes, Flutter widget snippets for Flutter development. I mostly use Android Studio for Flutter, though. I have this, which I really don't know if I use that much. HTML CSS support, IntelliCode, a bunch of other themes and icons, Nginx configuration, Nginx formatter for Nginx, deprecated npm, Prisma, Project Man for Java, Rust syntax, barely even use Rust, Spring Boot extensions, style components, XML. Yeah, I don't really have many extensions, to be honest. What do I think about ESLint? I think it's good. Sometimes it is a little bit annoying, though, to be honest with you. Interfaces enforce you to implement members, but don't actually get applied to the final JavaScript output. However, with types, they become objects in memory and are part of the final output. I see. That's really interesting. All right. So I'm just take this. And let me go here. So we'll create a function over here. And so basically with MVC, right, with JD, I don't know if you're still here, JD, but with MVC we have the group control over here, and basically the group control is going to go ahead and call the service class, and we'll call this method transfer. Params will be transfer owner params. And what I'll do is this will probably just return a group, promise group. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just call this group service transfer group owner, and we'll pass in the parameters. So I'll prepare the parameters in an object. So let's do let's see. And so what we'll do is const params equals user ID, group ID, new owner ID. You could also type annotate this too if you want. Transform param like that. And this actually be a number. What's going on here? Oh wait, what am I doing? New owner. There we go. And I can just pass in the params here. Now you don't really need to type annotate this, because if you just pass this in here, TypeScript will automatically check that for you. Of course, if you did not include that new owner ID there, TypeScript will tell you that there's a problem because you're passing in the wrong definition for params. So we'll call this function, and I'll return for now. We're not going to emit any events yet, but I'll go over here, and I'll go here. Yeah, I personally think ESLint is a little bit annoying, but it's not a bad tool, though. It's not a bad tool. So we're going to go into our service class, and we're going to need to not override, but implement this transfer group owner method, right? Because we're implementing this iGroup service interface. So let's go ahead and not do that here. Let's go down, and let's do that here. I usually prefer TypeScript for error checking, code validation. I found that ESLint is the overkill. I think ESLint does have some good suggestions on what you can do to improve your code to be more consistent, because that's also one of the main things about ESLint too, is to be consistent. But sometimes it can be a little bit annoying with, like, you know, some of the rules that they have, but you can disable them though. But I think it's okay though. Like, I don't have anything against ESLint. Like, it could definitely enforce good practices, and once you get used to it, you can just, like, you know, disable it, and you don't need to use it if you don't want to. Okay, so let's go here. All right, so the process for transferring group owner. First, we need to just set there's a couple things that we'll need to do. So let's do this. So first, we'll need to find the group. So we'll call find group by ID. I probably won't be needing to re-reference params, so I'll just destructure it like that, I guess. And so what I'll do is I'll pass in group ID. And so if there's no group, we'll throw a new group not found exception. This is a custom exception that we created right over here. Okay. So we can go and do that. We'll also need to make sure that we do this. We need to make sure that the user that is trying to transfer the ownership to the what's it called? We need to make sure that the user that's trying to transfer the ownership to the other user is actually the owner. So if group.owner.id, and we'll also need to update find group by ID. so that it actually returns the relation owner right over here. So if group.owner_id is equal to user ID, then we'll continue. Actually, we'll do this is if it's not equal to user ID, we'll throw an exception and we'll say, let's see. We'll just throw an exception saying not a group owner. So throw new not group owner exception, which means that you cannot perform this action. So this returns a 400, though. I think it should return a 403, to be honest with you. Yeah, the it's not an extension, it's a setting. It's called caret cursor. Search into VS Code and just search for cursor caret. And just enable this. And then what we'll do next is we need to make sure that the actual user is in the group. So two things I'll have to do. Let's search in the database. So this.user service. And we'll pass in for the ID, new owner ID. And then what we'll do is if there is no owner, or if the user not found, we should probably throw a user not found exception. And we'll extend the HTTP exception. By the way, does my mic sound weird, or are you guys able to hear me? I do have my mic a little bit further away, so... Hey, what's going on, Gabor? How are you? Welcome to the stream. It sounds fine? Alright, awesome, awesome. Can you guys hear the keyboard? You can't really hear the keyboard? Okay. From here, what I'll do is this. You want me to move my mic a little bit closer so you guys can enjoy the keyboard sound? I'll do that just for you guys. Alright, I moved my mic a little bit closer. I'll try not to talk too much so that way you guys can enjoy the keyboard sound. Alright, so if there's no new owner, what we'll do is this. So we check the group, check the owner ID. If the owner is not found, okay. What else do I need to check? I think that should be fine, I think. There's no new owner. What I want to do is, I'm trying to think, no group, okay. Group owner, we checked the correct owner. Yeah, I think from here it should be fine, so we could probably just update it now, so we'll do group. Check that the user isn't transfer owner to themselves, okay. Okay, I got you. I started learning React back in 2020. The reason why I actually learned React was because my job used React. So I ditched Angular for a little bit and I just started just working with React and just committed to it. But I didn't really get good with it until like around like maybe 8 months in. Like I was able to do basic things, but a lot of things like state hooks confused me a lot. So am I muted? No, I'm here. This is Visual Studio Code. I think what I'll do is I'll probably add this to maybe a middleware. I'll have to see though. Okay, so we checked. Yeah, we checked this part. We checked this part. So they cannot transfer it to themselves. Well, honestly, like, actually, wait, hold on. Should probably do this first. So we'll check to see if they are not the owner. Okay, good. Because if they're not the owner, then we'll just throw the exception. If they are the owner, then we'll check. Because if we check this first, we don't even know if they're the owner. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay. Yeah, I think from here we can just update group dot owner equals owner. And I think that should be all we need to do. So this dot group repository dot save. All right. So, all right. So let's see how this works. Welcome back. Welcome back, Devil Services. All right. So let's go ahead and try this out. So let's go over here. All right. So let's try to go ahead and test this out. So let me see. A lot of you recommended me to use Thunder Client. Only complaint that I have with Thunder Client is that it does not have WebSocket support, I think. So, but other than that, though, I mean, I'm not really using the WebSocket feature in Postman that much, so I might as well just use this. How to learn Java in self-study. I would recommend either getting a book from Amazon or buying a book from somewhere on Java, or get a crash course on YouTube and just go through the course, go through the book, go through the material one by one. As you're learning, take notes. Open up your text editor or your IDE and practice the little snippets that they have in the course and play around and experiment. Do you ever sleep? I do. I use WebSocket client, a Chrome extension. Let's see. How do I set environment variables? So I should just be able to do like that, right? Yeah, it doesn't recognize this, so that's good. How long did it take you to reach this level? Well, I've been developing for about 3 years, so I'd say 3 years. How are you saving the whole user object as the owner in the group? That's just how type ORM does it. In the actual database, it'll save the ID as a reference. Actually, there's a VS Code extension that replaces Postman. I mean, we're using Thunder Client though. Is there a better client than Thunder Client? Have I used Prisma? I have. Have I heard about Tori? Yes, I have. What do you think about Tori? I think it's very promising. Let's see, Zebra. You know, this is actually so much faster too. Search for Rapid API. Does it have WebSocket support? Wow, this actually looks really nice, honestly. If this has WebSocket support, I'm definitely using this then. I don't think it has WebSocket support. Does it? If it does, Rapid API. If it does, I'm 100% switching. But I mean, I do like this though. All right, yeah. I think I might just use Rapid API. I mean, is Rapid API better than you guys think Rapid API is better than Thunder Client? What do you guys think is better? Yeah, I've heard about Astro. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but I really would love to try it out. Squeak4, thank you for following my Twitch. I appreciate it. Hey, what's going on, Mark? How are you? How's your evening or morning or wherever you are? How's it going for you? Based out of Utah. Oh, you're really close to me. Got any advice, resources to learn more React backend? I mean, what do you know so far with React? Is what I would ask. Like, have you built any projects yet? How's the progress going? We made a lot of progress. Right now, we implemented the context menu. Right now, we're just working on transferring ownership. Request JSON text. Yeah, this is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Make lots of projects that start small and get more complex. Yeah, I agree with that as well. This is kind of weird, honestly. I think I'm just gonna stick with. I'll play around with this later. I'll just use Thunder Client for now. I don't want to spend too much time on this right now, but I do think it looks nice too. At least the UI looks a little bit better. But let me just focus on this real quick. I'll look at that later. Don't worry. Let me just. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's see, groups. The ID of this group is 48. Is there cookies? Like, where can I find the cookies? Where to find cookies? I know basic React hooks, just starting using TypeScript. What I would recommend is maybe what you could do is you could probably watch. Oh, it's right here. You could probably watch maybe like a video or two on like an overview of like someone building a project to get some ideas and then see how they go about solving those problems. And you can try to like think of it in a different way and building your own solution. Or you could just look up, because the best thing to do when you already know the framework is to actually build something out. All right, so let's see. Okay, it should also return the owner property as well. So let me see. Define user, promise at all. Oh yeah, I forgot to do one more thing. I also need to do this. There we go. Hello, Anson. I appreciate your hard work and I'd like to support you. Do you have a crypto address because I don't have PayPal? I don't have a crypto address, but I appreciate the thought though. But you don't have to worry about donating. Just watching the stream and subscribing is more than enough. Well, it's really late for me, 6 a.m., so I'm going to go have a fun stream. Alright, Hushi, take it easy, my friend, and I hope to see you later. Good night for you, or good morning for you. Is it a real-time chat? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alright, there we go. Alright, there you go. It gives you back the owner. Okay, cool. Okay. I don't know if we should... I'm honestly contemplating on removing the creator field. Um, I don't know, though. Maybe it might be useful to have the creator. Attachments are not supported yet. We're working on that later. I don't know when we'll get to that point, but it shouldn't be a huge issue when we do, though. All right, so I just created a group, okay, and now we want to go ahead and transfer the owner, and new owner ID. So I want to basically set the new owner to Aiden, so that's ID number 30. So let's pass in 30. The group ID we don't need to pass in, that's a route parameter. I think we just only need to pass a new owner ID. Okay, so let's click send. So it gives us back a 500. What's going on here? Can I read properties of null? Yeah, I think, let's see, what's going on here? Line 73, group service. So let's go to group service. How many videos are more? I'm not sure what you mean. Usama, how's it going, my friend? How are you? Line 73. Okay, so it's complaining about group.owner.id. Yeah, so I think group.owner is undefined. Yeah, and I think that makes sense because when we created this, well, I mean, let's see, what's the ID? Number 49. Okay, yeah. Let's use number. Yeah, because we just added that column, so all those fields are going to be null for every single user. So let's try one for group number 49. Okay, now this should work. And the response, you can see over here that the owner is now Aiden. So owner is now Aiden, and we're no longer the owner anymore. Marky man, thank you so much for following my Twitch. Hi Anson, I recently got very curious about creating backend using NestJS, watching your videos. It's pretty good. How long it will take to be proficient? Don't worry about how long it will take. Worry about building something with Nest, and that could be really anything. Just build whatever you can. For example, if you already have a project that you built with Express or some other language, like or some of the language and framework like Spring Boot or Django, take NestJS and convert it to a NestJS app from the previous framework or language, and then just go through the documentation and practice the basic core concepts. And once you understand those things, then I would say like you have good solid grasp of the framework. But proficiency is something that you can't really measure based on time. It's really just based on experience and how many projects that you actually build out and how well you're able to understand what is going on. So don't worry about time, though, is what I would say. Okay, so transferring the owner works. Okay, so what we need to do next is we need to go into the database, or not database. We need to go into the code, and we need to change a couple of functions. So I'm trying to think. We need to make sure. Oh yeah. So we need to also do a couple things. So let's add a subtask. Let's do. We also need to do a couple other things as well. We need to basically also modify the code for group. Let's see, group message. Group recipients. Yeah, we need to modify add and remove group recipient. So that way, instead of, because right now we're only checking the creator, we need to change this to owner. You can see right over here, we're checking group.creator, should be group.owner. Advantages of Nest. There's a lot. Like, for example, they have a lot more of an opinionated architecture, which is great if you want consistency. And they also use dependency injection, which is also a huge thing with NestJS. It gives you a lot more structure, gives you a lot more opinionated programming patterns. And it has a lot of great documentation. Really easy to test your code. Or I should say, write unit tests. Lots of good support, lots of great wrapper packages that is maintained by the NestJS core maintainers. Anything that you want to do is already literally out of the box in Nest, or you can just install the correct package for Nest. There's a lot of things to like about Nest, and there's also something that but honestly, like, there's not one single thing that I hate about NestJS, to be honest with you. Like, everything about Nest I absolutely love, and like there's nothing about Nest that makes me want to switch, like go back to regular Express.js. Nothing. Okay, so let's see. We already did this. We did this, and we also did. We haven't done this yet, so we do have to fix this in a second. But transferring the owner does work, so that's good. So let's just go ahead and write a commit message, so we don't add a bunch of ridiculous changes and then commit additional changes. I want to make commits as small as possible. All right, so there's that. So what we'll do now is we have that owner reflected. So now, we do also need to go to the front end to make sure we are updating that as well. But we'll do that in a second. Let's just go ahead and fix this real quick. So add group recipient. Okay. We go ahead and find the group by its ID. We find the recipient or the person that we want to add the user to. If the user is not found, we'll throw an error. I feel like this should really honestly just go above, to be honest with you. So let's just use if group.owner.id is not equal to params.userid. So we're comparing the person who is executing this request to the owner ID. If it's not, we'll just say insufficient permissions. If there's no recipient, cannot add user. And then over here, we just check to see if the user's in the group or not. And that should pretty much take care of that. And we'll also do this. So I'm not going to modify remove group recipient yet. I'm going to go into the front end and just test the functionality of add group recipient. So we do need to go into the front end and actually test this function. So let's go over to, let's see. I think it should be components. Well, first we do need to update the types, because we are comparing yeah, so we need to add this owner user type. There we go. I think that's fine. So now what we need to do is anywhere that we're referencing, let's search for this group.creator. Let's see, are we searching that? Okay, we're over here. So let's see, display name. So if it's user IDs, okay. Okay, so this is for conversation. Right over here we have type equals group and user ID is equal to group dot. So instead of group dot creator should be group dot owner. Okay, because the creator is just the person who creates the group. The owner is the actual owner of the group. I love Nest and in second place loopback. Hey, what's going on, Bernardo? Welcome to the stream. Divi Patel, welcome to the stream. How are you, my friend? Why you are not using relational database? We are. We're using MySQL. So we'll go ahead and fix that, and let's go ahead and try it out now. So, all right, so let's go over here. So now, right now, this is obviously not, so even the groups that we are in, that we created earlier, those are not going to show that icon for us because we have a bunch of old data. But we'll create a new group, though. Hey there, looks like you've made a lot of progress. Yes, we have indeed. And and we are making. We're gonna make more tonight. But welcome back, Derek. How are you? How's it going, Derek? All right. So you see that now I am the owner, and I can actually see this group icon. There were some groups that I was the owner, but because we're not comparing it to owner anymore, we're comparing it to creator. And those old groups, the owner field is null. So if you look at our database, you'll see that uh, we have a bunch of null values. Okay. So what we'll do is this. Now, one thing that I'll do for fun is watch this. Let's do update. Let's see, update groups. Update. Is it update or just update groups? Update table name. Okay, update groups. Set owner ID. Let's just set the owner ID to number 7. So it'll just be the owner for every single group. So now, if I click on any group right now, let's see. Why are we not the owner? It's interesting. Please also build functionalities like unread message and notifications. Thanks again for making this app. It's a lot of fun to watch. I'm glad that you enjoy it. I have seen you stream for 12 plus hours. Is that healthy? I'm not sure why. This is really weird. So we have the owner ID already. So we should technically be able to see that icon. It's really weird why we're not able to see it. Well, you're like online every time I go on YouTube. Yo, what's going on, Mark? How are you? I mean, honestly, like, let me see. I only stream 12 hours on like weekends because that's when I don't have work. I'm not like doing it every single day. If I was doing it like, every single day for like 16 hours, I probably wouldn't survive, but like, I only do it on like weekends when I don't have work, so it's not like an everyday thing. So it's not like it would be, super detrimental to my health. Like I'm still getting, 7, 8 hours of sleep a day. Like I'm still, exercising. I'm still going out and getting regular sunlight. So I don't think it would be. I don't think it's that detrimental. But of course, if I were to do that every single day, and just like not even go outside at all, uh, yeah, that would be really bad for literally everything. Okay, this is really weird. It should really be comparing it to owner ID. I'm not sure why though. I'm just curious why Redux is still used on new projects nowadays. I think there are so many simpler state management like Zustin. Uh, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Is the user you logged in? Yeah, yeah, we are logged in as number 7, right? Yep, that's us. We're number 7, but it should show it up for us though. I never saw a developer who tried to think and create like you, although YouTubers create the product first and then start a stream. Respect to you, sir. You're getting a subscriber. Thank you, Junaid. I really appreciate that a lot. I mean, listen, like I'm just really doing this just for learning purposes, so I don't really have anything to hide or lose, you know. If people want to watch, they're welcome to watch. If people don't want to watch, they don't have to watch. Um, yeah, I mean, can't go wrong with, just streaming a project. The only thing that I don't like is when you have the elitists that come into the chat and start like acting like they know everything, and it's just really, really lame and cringe, honestly. I don't know why they do that, but it's really it's just really cringe, you know. Okay, so for some reason the return value is not. Oh, you know what it is? I know why. I know why. Good morning, Master Code. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Mark Tellez, welcome to the stream. How are you? Hi, what the color schema for your code you use? Just do the exclamation mark theme command, and it'll give you my color theme. Yeah, I know why it's not giving us the group because our API right over here. When we fetch the groups, we're not actually returning the owner. So watch this. Let's go into Thunder Client. So you see how I'm fetching all the groups? So we have an array of groups. You see how the owner property is not there? Oh, so we need to add that. So let's go over here. Uh, so group owner. Okay, I think that's fine. Flavin YG, how are you? I think we don't learn text based on simplicity or tech, but whether that tech helps good on, and Redux stands out for that. I mean, I personally just like using Redux because, you know, I think it's cool, honestly, like a lot of people don't like it because it gave off a bad impression, but the thing is that a lot of companies still use Redux, and a lot of companies will not migrate away from Redux because Redux toolkit is still a thing. And a lot of people like the opinionated architecture of Redux. Like you have the concept of a store, you have reducers, you have all those things, like sagas, uh, thunks, and if they really wanted to migrate from just Redux, uh, they could, right? But I think Redux Toolkit is also what saved Redux at the same time. And I honestly don't think Redux Toolkit is really that bad, to be honest with you. Now, I've only taken a look at Zustin before, and I've never really used it extensively. But I really only want to use Redux just because I want to learn Redux and get good with it. Do I like Golang? I don't really use it. I've used it like once, like a couple years ago, and that was really it. Okay, there we go. So now the owner's here. So now I can go ahead and I should be able to see the. There we go. I can see that. So we're the owner for every single group. And what I can do now is I can change the owner to whatever number I want. So let's try this. And some companies do ask you, like for example, when I interviewed for some companies for a developer role, they ask me Redux questions. So although you might not like it, it's still very heavily influenced in the industry. There's a lot of influence on Redux. So I can go ahead and also change the owner to someone else. So let me log in as another user. Okay, so now I can go ahead and just change the ID to whoever I want. So let's change it to Aiden number 30. Thanks for the stream, Anson. All right, take it easy, Joe. Have a good night or good morning. I'm building a WhatsApp chatbot using Golang as a personal challenge. I'm loving it. I'm glad that you are having fun with that. What kind of chatbot are you doing? Oh no, I'm not logging off. I was just saying bye to Joe. Okay, so I just changed the ID, owner ID. So if I refresh, I should now see that I am now the owner, as you can see. Okay, there we go. And since I'm the owner, I can now right-click whoever I want, right? And also that let me just double-check the context menu as well, so that way we can ensure that because the context menu displays unique actions based on the owner. So let's look over here. So let's see. Let's see. Oh wait, I do want to change this function though. So instead of group.creator, it should be group.owner. Hey, will you add a face cam to stream on 30K? Maybe. Maybe. I don't I kind of want to get a green screen as well, so that way, like, you know, I can add cool backgrounds and stuff. Anson, got any beginner project ideas from tryout? Well, how about try to make a to-do list with drag and drop feature? I think that would be a good, fun little, simple project to build out, maybe. Shashank, how are you, my friend? I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. All right, so let me just test this out. So let me go ahead and create a group real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just give Aiden the owner right now. So right now I am the owner and I can right click, right? And if I go here, I cannot right click. Okay, I'm gonna give Aiden the owner right now. So let's do, so now I should be the owner, but I can't right click. I can still right click though, even though I'm not the owner. So that's why we have to compare it to group.owner. And if the person is an owner, then we will display these two other items on the context menu. So now if I refresh and refresh, so I'm no longer the owner on this account, so I cannot see those two other options. But on the other account that is now the owner, I can see those options. There we go. Perfect. Hey, I'm a student. I don't know how to about work with Git commit and all that stuff. Do you have any YouTube videos? I personally don't, but I'm sure if you just look one up on YouTube, they'll teach. There's plenty that will teach you the basics. Uh, what will be your next project? I really want to do e-commerce with Stripe API. All right, so I think we've covered this part, adding the owner. Okay, I think that should be enough for this. So let's go ahead and let me see. Okay, yeah, that's good. So let me write a commit message. Okay, so let's commit that. And now what we could do is we can call the API when we click on transfer owner. So let's go back to the context menu. So we have kick user already. We just now need transfer owner. So let's do this. So let's do this on click. What should we start with building first? Honestly, it doesn't really matter. I would say front end would be a good start. And then once you build the front end, you can work on the back end. Shane's real. Hey, Ants, long time no see. You still make Discord bots? I don't really make Discord bots anymore. I still make tutorials on them, but I don't actually work on Discord bots much anymore. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to basically uh, dispatch an action and then update the store. So let's do export. We need the group ID, so ID number. And we also need new sorry, it's patch. Do I think Redux is a good idea to get into? I would say if you're new to React, don't worry about Redux right now. Maybe learn something more simpler like Zustant or Context API. And then once you get a little bit more better with React, then if you really need to, dive into Redux. But as a beginner, you don't really need to know Redux immediately. I barely know how to run yarn writing this down. I like yarn better than npm, to be honest. All right, let's test this out. So when I right click on a user and I click on transfer group owner, it's going to go ahead and call this function. We're going to console log. It's going to dispatch this update group owner thunk. Okay. It'll basically dispatch this this action, and it'll call our thunk, which will then call this remove group recipient, or not this one, update group owner API function. So this will basically return a promise. The thunk will basically wrap this whole promise, and we can actually add an extra reducer to handle when the thunk has fulfilled, rejected, or is still pending. So we'll go ahead and try it out right now. So let's do this. So let me see, am I the owner? Oh wait, that's all right. So let's see. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give well, before I do that, so number 52. So let's do this. Let's do API URL. Let's do number 52. So you can see that I have the group over here. I am the creator as well as the owner. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer to, well, we actually haven't tested out the rest of the API. We haven't tried transferring it to ourselves yet. We'll have to test it out in a second. Well, why don't we test that out right now? So if I try to transfer the owner or group number 52 to myself, group owner transfer exception, group owner transfer exception. That's not a good error message. We'll have to fix that. Let's do this. If I try to do it to a user that doesn't exist, user not found, might want to give a different error message though. I don't really like this message over here. But okay, so let's try and do this. Let's go ahead over here. So I'll go ahead and right click transfer owner. So it says transferring group owner to 30. Update group owner thunk fulfilled. So the thunk was successful. Okay, the API call was successful. Let's go back to our client. Let's go ahead and call this fetch group ID. Let's go over here. You can see that the owner is now someone else, the person that we just right-clicked on and clicked on that as well. The person that we right-clicked on and clicked on transfer owner is now the owner. Now, watch this. If I refresh on this page, I should now see the new icon, or not the new icon, the plus icon. This indicates that I am the owner. We will add like a crown next to the user if they are the owner. You can see over here, if I refresh now, I no longer can see that plus icon. Okay, and if I right click on other users, I cannot see the actions to kick or to do anything else. Now let's see if I can actually kick other users as the new group owner. So if I right click Ibrahim, if I click on kick user, seems like it doesn't do anything. And let's figure out why. It says failed to load resource. So let's see what's going on. Let's debug this issue. Not a group owner. Okay, so I think this is calling the... Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we have not fixed the remove group user feature yet, because that's still checking the creator. And I said that we would not do that yet. We would have to, we want to test adding group users first. So we have to go back to the remove group recipient endpoint, and instead of, let's go inside here. Instead of checking group dot creator, where is it? Yeah. So if group.owner, group.creator ID, we'll do group.owner ID. Okay. And now I should be able to remove the user as the new owner. So watch this. Kick user. Let's see. Interesting. Wait. Let's see. Wait a minute. Did I change the wrong function? Oh, wait. There we go. If group.owner.id is not equal to issuer ID, okay, throw new, okay, there we go, good. If group.owner.id is equal to remove user ID, so this is if we were trying to remove ourselves. Cannot remove yourself as owner. Okay, so this should pretty much do the trick, so let's refresh. And now I should be able to remove Ibrahim. There we go. Perfect. So let's try this out. Cool. Now let's try, let me see. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and add a couple users again. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and remove a couple users. Okay, they disappear. Now I'll transfer owner back to Anson. Now I do need to refresh because we don't have a WebSocket event set up for this yet. But now I am the new group owner and I can remove users. I can kick Aiden, I can kick Marley, and there we go. So that feature works. So let's go ahead and write our commit message. So let's do this. This is sick. Thank you, Vaquita. How's it going? Welcome to the stream, friend. How's your night going? Or morning, wherever you are. Damn, this is good work. Thank you, Jishu. Have you implemented deep linking and pagination? What is deep linking? Pagination, not yet. This app you'll publish as startup? No, I'm only doing this for fun. Um, the code is open source though, so anyone can, you know, take a look at it. But I don't have any intention on turning this into a startup, at least not right now. And if I were to make it a startup, I probably would not open source it anymore. Well, I mean, I would keep whatever's there for the public, but I would probably not work on it live on stream. So I'm really just doing this for fun, to be honest with you. Where do I live? I live in America. Thanks for the notes on the GitHub. I'm trying to get this boot on Arch Linux. Yeah, I added some documentation too for the NestJS backend. So anyone who wants to like set this up on their own, or they can. So let me just go ahead and push some changes to GitHub real quick. Deep linking is linking to a previous message in chat. Imagine sharing a message with linking to a previous message in chat. Imagine sharing a message or pinning a message, you want context around it. Oh, I think I get what you mean. So basically like when you pin a message and you want to jump to it immediately, how do you know where to jump to? Is that what it is? Let me look that up. Deep linking. Deep linking is the use of a hyperlink that links to a specific generally searchable or indexed piece of web content on a website rather than the website's homepage. The URL contains all the information needed to point to a particular item. Oh, I see. Yeah, we haven't implemented that yet, but that is a pretty cool concept that I have not heard of yet. So I'll definitely note that down in my Asana board to do some more research on that. Thanks for letting me know about that. All right, so let me just go to, let me close this. Let me just move this to my other screen. I'm getting a new monitor on Thursday, and I can't wait to show you guys my new updated setup, so that way you guys can see it. I'm really excited, actually. Mentions and rich text. Yeah, we actually have that written down on the Asana board. Something about pings and mentions, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we have it on the Asana board right now. It's a little bit messy because we had so much stuff from the viewers just suggesting things. So I have to like spend some time organizing this. But let me add this. Deep linking messages. Yeah, I'll do some research on that. Let me see. So just finished transfer group owner. So add owner group to property done. Add owner property to other types done. Update add group recipient and remove group recipient to check the owner instead of creator done. Update API groups endpoint to include new owner property done. Seems like we're done with this. So let's see. Just sign it to myself. Done. All right, so we're done with this. I just pushed the changes to GitHub. So that should be good. I don't have a pipeline set up yet, so unfortunately it cannot auto-deploy to our staging server. I'll probably have to set that up some other time. But changes should be on GitHub. So now we'll work on leaving the group. So this will actually need to do a couple things. So add an option to leave group. Why don't you keep context inside store folder? I actually start off with context in the beginning, and we're slowly migrating away from the context API. So right now, like we have context right over here. I'm gonna remove probably the message menu context and as well as the auth context very, very soon. Because it doesn't really make too much sense to use both. Though I think I might keep the context. Maybe I might keep it inside. I think the only thing that I'll keep for context maybe socket. I'm not sure. But we could probably use that with Redux. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it. Dang, I missed his live stream. Will you do more of these? Oh, yeah, of course. But all the other live streams are available to watch on the channel. I'm not going to delete them at all. And I also, for those who were wondering about day number 12, I re-uploaded it today. So that way you guys can go ahead and actually watch day number 12. Um, Damn, my stomach is hurting from the coffee that I drank earlier. That's not good. Wello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, my friend? Alright, so add an option to leave group. We need to basically do this. Alright, subtasks for this. Let's see. So we already added the feature to kick a user from a group. I think it was a delete ID, and then I think we called if I remember correctly, we called the endpoint name group recipients. It was slash delete. It was delete slash groups ID recipients. So I think what I should do is maybe I'll do groups ID recipients leave. I think you should make a nice thumbnail to attract more users. You have not set any thumbnail. I have a thumbnail for this stream right now. I think I have a thumbnail for this stream, don't I? Yeah, it's just the UI design of the chat app. Hey, what's going on? I don't know how to say your name. Yo, did you ban that spammer from yesterday? What spammer? Hey, welcome back, Ahmed. So this would look like. Yeah, I guess we could do this. Rolo Scon, how are you doing, my friend? Do you plan on making the chat app native using Electron? If I were to make a desktop app, I'd probably use Electron. But I would like to get into that. Probably not right now, though, but at some point I would love to. How long are you planning to stream today? I'll be on for a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a couple hours. Hey, Amen, how are you? Did you try GitHub project? I have not tried that yet. Hey, Abraham, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Actually, crap, I forgot to do something. Are you gonna deploy this app somewhere? I'll deploy it to DigitalOcean. You like SQL or NoSQL databases? I personally am more of a fan of MySQL when it comes to large monolith applications that deal with a lot of relational data. For microservices, if I were to have a microservice for each API, I would probably just go with MongoDB. How did you learn to build your chat app in the first place? Well, what I did a couple months ago was I was experimenting with building out a WebSocket gateway with NestJS to build a chat feature for one of my applications I was working on at that time. And I had a little bit of progress with that. And from there, I kind of just I didn't really work on that project for several months. And 2 weeks ago, I really wanted to build a chat app, and I was recording the video for like the first 10 minutes because I was going to make a tutorial originally. But I was, why don't I just stream this? So in terms of how did I learn, it's not really like more so how did I learn. It's just more so like me experimenting with WebSockets and seeing what I could do with it, and just like piecing together every little piece of details that I can find, and like things that I could do to actually, get the bigger picture, if that makes sense. Hey man, how do you manage to do project for so long without getting bored of it? I would say that it's just, determination, a purpose. My purpose really is just to, you know, learn. I generally enjoy working on projects like these. And, another big factor is, you guys are watching the stream, you guys are tuning in, learning with me at the same time, contributing as well by giving your input and feedback. So that also has a huge factor to my purpose of this project as well. I really like doing projects like these and streaming it to you guys. So that also helps a lot. Falco, welcome to the Twitch stream. How are you doing? Are you planning to use Pusher? What is Pusher? Is that for push notifications? What do I think about Firebase? I don't really think much about it because I personally use it, but I think it's an okay service if you want to let Google take care of handling all of the major things for you. It's not a bad thing though. I personally just enjoy doing things on my own, like setting up my own databases. That's just me personally though. I'm doing good, Falco. I'm doing good, Falco. One reason I stumble creating any project is not knowing where to start. I still remember I even got into remote tutorial. Well, I'll tell you what. Next time when we stream it, we will be streaming a new project at some point because I really want to work on the e-commerce platform at some point. Tune into that, and you can see the thought process of how we'll get started with an e-commerce platform. You'll see the whole thought process of how I will set everything up, how I'll decide what technologies to use, and etc., and how we'll design the database and the project. It can be really difficult if you don't know where to start, but because I used to have that problem too, where I just really didn't know what to start with building projects. Like I had that problem, like that was a real big problem for me back then. But we will do a lot more of these live streams, so don't worry. Um, is it better to use Firebase on front end or back end? Well, I think Firebase can actually be connected from either one, right? Pusher and Ably is WebSockets SDK, so you don't have to manage all the infrastructure. You can use their infrastructure and use their SDK. And I'm going to learn NestJS because of you. It really makes things easier than using plain Node.js. I agree with you, random stuff, and I'm glad that you're going to take on NestJS. It's a really amazing framework, and I'm really happy that it exists, honestly. Okay. So I think we'll need the auth user. All right, take it easy, Ahmed. Have a good one. And yeah, don't worry, I will. I will. Thoughts on Vue? I think Vue is a great framework for beginners to learn. It's also a great framework to build applications. Vue is one of the first frameworks that I personally learned myself, and I really liked Vue a lot, to be honest with you. Actually, I really don't need this user ID because, yeah, I don't need this user ID. I think if you're getting started with, I think if you're getting started with, um, web dev and you don't know which framework to learn, I think Vue is a great framework because it's really simple, it's really lightweight, and it gets the job done, and it teaches you the basics of these front end frameworks and what they do. Thiek Hein by, how are you? Welcome to the stream. What do you think about Laravel plus Vue? Um, I mean, I don't really think much about Laravel and Vue because I don't really develop with Vue or Laravel, but I would say Laravel is a really good framework for PHP. I think it's honestly probably the only good framework for PHP that most people still use nowadays for many companies. And I think that you could definitely get a job with Laravel. Vue is definitely, uh, getting there in popularity, but lots of companies still use React and Angular. But I think, like, I think they're both great frameworks in general. And do I think that they go well and well? I mean, to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter which frameworks you want to use with what. Um, like, for example, you can use Angular with Nest, you can use Angular with Express, you can use Angular with Django. It doesn't really matter too much, but they're both great frameworks, is what I would say. Keone, welcome to the stream. Sidhant Singh, welcome to the stream. How are you guys or girls doing tonight? Okay. Let's see. So let's go ahead into our. No, I'm using MySQL. Why do I prefer DigitalOcean? It's just really easy to use DigitalOcean compared to something like AWS and Google Cloud. I have used AWS before, and I didn't really like it. They do offer a lot of great services, though, I will admit, like an API gateway. But DigitalOcean has everything that I could possibly need, such as buckets, Kubernetes, Docker repository, managed databases. I really like it, and it's also really affordable too. It's only like $4 a month for the cheapest plan. I cannot seem to increase the quality of the stream. Should I look for you on Twitch? Sure. I'm streaming on Twitch too. If you want to watch me on Twitch, my Twitch is in the description. Twitch.tv/Sty. If you guys want to watch on Twitch instead, they should be the same quality on both YouTube and Twitch. Just woke up from a nap. Really tiring day, but finally got some good leads. Got a second round interview this week. Nice. I'm assuming for a software developer role, right? Or something relevant. But congrats on that, man. I know that feeling when you get a call back from the recruiter or the manager and they like you and they want to, you know, get in contact with you again to move forward. That's like one of the best feelings out there. Yeah, for a backend role. Nice. Well, I hope you get it. I hope your entire interview goes well for you. Would you recommend using GraphQL for a chat application? I mean, GraphQL. I mean, GraphQL is usually used. GraphQL is really good when you have a lot of relational data and you want to basically be able to just query everything with one API call without needing to, query multiple endpoints. Um, you can certainly use Graph. You can certainly find GraphQL very useful in situations like a chat app, but we haven't really got to a point where we necessarily need it yet. But I would say it would definitely be a good situation to use GraphQL because you have a lot of relational data. Like you need to get messages, you need to get the owner, you need to get the creator of a group chat, you need to get a bunch of other stuff too. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to use GraphQL for a chat application. You can definitely plug in GraphQL in a lot of applications. Would you guys like to join Anonymous? What are the benefits? I'm trying to think of what I could do with this. ID number. Let me see. I really want to reuse this type. I don't know what to call this object though. is user in group. All right, I'm going to create this function so that way we can just very easily check the user in group. That way we don't have to keep doing that all the time. All it's really supposed to do, well, actually, I think they should actually take in the group and the, let me see. Can you share your theme and icons? Use the theme command in the chat and it'll give you my theme. I think maybe what we could do is probably move this code into here. So if there's no group. I'm trying to think, how can I make this so that we can get the group? I think what I could do is I can make this return the group itself. And let's see. There we go. Hey Anson, have you made your app responsive yet? And how do you go through the process of making a website responsive? I have not made it responsive yet, but I will do that at some point. I actually drew some Figma designs earlier on how I think the chat app should look like when it's in responsive mode or when the screen size decreases. So here are some proof of concepts right over here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And the icon theme is, I think, material icons, I think. Yeah, it's material icon. No. It's material icon, material icon. It's either material icon or there's like two. I don't know why there's like two different icon packs with different name with the same name, but like they're reversed. It's either material icon or like icon material, something like that. How much time did it take you to learn React Redux? Um, I would say maybe it took me like probably like a couple days to get used to it, honestly. NestJS, it took me maybe like 2 days to get used to it. It wasn't really difficult because I already knew React already. So learning Next wasn't really that difficult. But yeah, so this is some proof of concepts, or not proof of concepts, some UI designs that I drew before I streamed. And so, for example, this is what it would look like if the screen size was maybe like 1,807. I know there's actually presets that I can set, but I'll just leave it like this. Um, whoops. This is what it would look like on mobile. So I would collapse basically. Actually, no. When they decrease it, I'll basically only show the icons of the avatar of the chat. And then when it gets smaller, it'll basically kind of look like Messenger or any other chat app. You'll just see the name, and then we'll remove this screen and we'll only show this. And when you click on it, it'll basically take you to this. Why is your GitHub name Sty? Because Sty used to actually be my gaming name online when I was like a kid back then, like 10 years ago, and I've used that name for a very long time. And so, I didn't really want to use my full name on GitHub because that is what it was originally. So I just decided to change it to Sty, and I just kept it since then. I hate designing stuff. It takes so much time, and it's just annoying. LOL. Yeah, I feel that. Which framework will you use if you want to create a mobile app? I'll probably use Flutter because I really do like Flutter a lot, to be honest. But if I'll maybe what I'll do is I'll do a poll. If you guys want to do, you know what? Why don't I do a poll right now? Should I use Flutter or React Native? I'll let you guys vote while I go use the bathroom real quick and take a little bit of a. I'll take like a 2 minute break. So I'll be right back real quick. All right, I'm back. Let's see. What did you guys vote for? What did you guys vote for? 38 to 62. I'll keep the poll up because there's probably more people that will stop by, and I want to get everyone's input. I'll keep the poll up. But I can't wait to get my monitor. I can't wait to get my monitor on Thursday because I bought a new monitor, and what I did earlier was I bought this monitor arm that I mount to my desk. It's the ones that you mount to your desk, and I have like my monitor right now on the right hand side mounted upwards. It's gonna go on top of my other monitor that I'm getting. You guys will see. I'll do like a setup tour and show you guys my workspace and everything. I noticed that you are using CSS modules. Would you recommend using Tailwind over CSS modules? Well, Tailwind is I think it's Tailwind a framework or a library. I don't know, but it's basically just I would say it's a library that provides a bunch of utility classes and a bunch of classes that can handle things like margin, padding, and a bunch of other stuff, as well as set up themes. So that way you don't have to manually, configure that every single time and create classes yourself for that. Tailwind will take care of that for you. Um, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't use CSS modules if you need it. But I've never really used Tailwind before, so I can't really give great insight, to be honest. So sorry about that. All right, let me just play some more music real quick so I can continue coding. All right. Okay. Let's close this out. Sniz144, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. Is that what currency is that? HUF. Hungarian. Nice. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Sniz, thank you so much. That really means a lot to me, man. Hungarian. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I actually really want to go to Hungary. I'm assuming you are from Hungary, right? I really want to go to Budapest, Hungary. What's going on, Schwitz? How are you? We aren't even checking. I just realized that in these two functions, I don't even think we're even checking to see. Oh, wait, this one we are, but this one we aren't. So over here, we can just basically take this, move this here. I'm good. Glad to hear that. So we'll do this user ID. And if they are in the group, we'll just return. I think what we'll do is return group that user defined. And so this should return the group if they are in it, and undefined if they're not. So we can kind of just like use this to tidy up our code a little bit. Okay, so this will return promise or undefined. Wait, what? It's not user, wait, it's group, sorry. There we go. Would you prefer React or Vue? I don't really mind either one of them, to be honest with you. I just use React because that's just the framework that I've been using for a while. But I think Vue is a great framework, to be honest with you. But because I mostly do React, I would probably just go with React. But that's not to say that Vue isn't a that's not to say that Vue is a bad framework. I think it's a great framework. I'd probably go with MongoDB personally. React Native is a mobile framework. You can use it to build mobile applications. Welcome everyone to the stream. I hope you all are having a good night. For those that are just tuning in, we're just building out our chat application. We're working on some new features right now. Right now, the feature that I'm working on is the leave group feature. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll read chat message in a second. Sniz, yo, thank you so much for joining as a member, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for that. If you haven't already, Sniz, make sure you join the Discord as well. And make sure you also connect your Discord account with Google, so that way you can get the role. Um, that way you can get the role on the Discord server, and you can also access the private channels that are only for Twitch subscribers and YouTube members. But yeah, thank you, Sniz. I really appreciate that. When did you first start coding? I started coding back in 2016 when I started college. Do you know any repository with big modern React and Redux and TS app? I personally don't. Maybe someone here might know. Does anyone know if there is? Does anyone know the answer to Astarta's question? Almost home, Anson. I talked to you in a bit. All right, Gravity. No worries. No worries. No rush. What kind of music do you guys like? You know, I really should build a application for myself so that I can use it to manage my YouTube stream a lot more easier. So that way I can just create polls very easily. Thanks, Ty. I'll tune again soon. Good night, man. No worries, JJ Sun.T. Send date. I'll catch you later. Anson, I fucking love you streams, man. Thank you, Zaya. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you like the stream. So if user is in group, so it'll throw an exception. Okay. Group const user. Okay. I think this should be fine. Is user in group? So this will save us a lot of. So yeah, let's just do it with this first. So if there's, so we don't even need this part anymore. We just basically do const group. Alvin, thank you so much for the 100 rupees, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I really like the sticker that you, or like the animated sticker that you added on the super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. Parrot character lifting some weights, saying keep it up. I will. I'm trying my best. But yeah, thank you so much for the donation. Well, you write everything, but like, I mean, you kind of draw it with CSS. Well, I just realized how powerful grid if with area property. Yeah, grid is really, really powerful. Like, it's a really good. It's really good in CSS. Like, it literally makes it very easy to create powerful layouts. Like, no joke. I used Flexbox for the layout for my application. What's about using grid? Did you do like Flex One? Yeah, I did. I did need to use like Flex One for some properties that were Flex items. How can I find day 12? I actually uploaded it this. I actually uploaded it earlier. I had to like private the stream, but what I did was I downloaded it and I re-uploaded it. You should be able to find it in the playlist, or you can just look at the channel. It should say re-upload, but it's all in the playlist though, so don't worry. It should be in the playlist. If it's not, let me know and I'll add it there. What's require JS? I'm not sure what that is. Unless you mean like, yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Well, gotta log off, Anson. Got school, but have a nice rest of your stream. Alright, take it easy, Oscar. I hope to see you later. Can't wait to play around with Grit tomorrow. Well, I'm glad you have something to look forward to. Have a good night, my friend. Do I even need this function? That's the thing. I don't think I'll need this function, to be honest. For now, I'll throw an error, but I'm going to go ahead and make it so that if they are the owner, we'll have to just find the next user in the list to make them the group. Ratik, how are you? Welcome to the stream, my friend. So we'll just throw an exception for now if the group owner is trying to leave the group. Otherwise, what we can do now is we just do updated users. Let me do this. So update users group.users.filter. So we'll basically get all of the users where the user.id is not equal to user ID. So then we could just do group.users.equal updated. Tronic, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Best education content on YouTube and overall on web. Are you asking or are you making a statement? Thanks, I am Nurse from India. Nice. Well, welcome to our YouTube stream tonight. Happy to have you here. It must be really early for you right now. It's probably like, I think like 10 a.m. over there or 10:30 a.m. over there. We have a lot of our viewers are from India, actually. 10 a.m. Nice. Yeah, right now it's only 9:30 p.m. over here, so you all are very very far ahead. Cause I'm all on the west coast of America right now. All right, so this should work. Um, yeah, this should work. All right. So what we'll need to do is we'll basically need to call this endpoint and see if it'll actually leave the a we'll leave the group. So let's go over here. What's your degree? Is it computer science? Is it in nursing computers? I think. Let me see. Are you asking me or are you asking Ratika? slash groups. So we'll try to leave a group right now. Let me see. Recipients leave. All right. So what group do I want to leave? 52. All right. And who's the owner? That's myself. Okay. So if I try, so let's test this out. If I try to leave this group right now, it should go ahead and, oh wait, what's going on here? Validation failed. Numeric string is expected. Interesting. That's interesting. Yo, welcome back, Triboy. How's it going for you so far? What you been up to? Leave, let's see. You know, I think it might be conflicting with this route over here. I think I might need to move this up. Should I do recipients, recipient ID, and then leave? Yeah, I think we'll do that instead. Do you ever sleep? I do. Deploying another version of my command handler. Nice. I actually took a look at that the other day when you sent it to me. It looks really nice. What software is that they're using to manage the project? It's called Asana. It's called Asana. A-S-A-N-A. There's a free tier, and you can also do a free trial of the premium version of it. How can I use JSX npm packages in React TSX? What do you mean by that? You should be able to just use them without any issues, unless you're facing issues with like the type annotation. Oops, the recipients. Yeah, I think. Let me move this up here. There we go, perfect. And now if I were to remove a group recipient, so let's try this. So I'm the owner of this group. I can go ahead. Well, right now this group only has one user, so let's maybe add. Let's add a group recipient. Okay. So now we have these two. Okay, so if I were to just do slash recipients and then the ID, so if I do 7, that shouldn't work. Cannot remove yourself as an owner. If I did number 20, this should remove the user. Okay, so if I just do slash leave, okay, there we go. So it's the order that matters, because we are mapping this route, which expects the user ID, right? And then we're doing leave, so we have to do this first and then this first. So order actually matters. When I download it, it says something into types not declared. Yeah, you might need to actually install the types package. There should be like a hint when you hover over the error, and it'll tell you to install like the at types package for the repository. The params is part of which is called NestJS. Yes, those decorators are from the NestJS framework. Hi from Argentina. What DB are you using for storing and messages, or going to be WebSockets or anything else? Well, first off, welcome. We're using MySQL, and we are using WebSockets. Yes, we're using both of those. We're using MySQL for the database, and we're saving the messages. And we're using WebSockets to transmit the real-time events from the server to the front end and the front end to the server. Okay, so you can see that right now it's saying cannot leave group as owner, which is good. So I'll add another user to this group. So let me log in as maybe Aiden, and let's try to leave the group now. So let's do login. So now if I try to leave group number 52, you can see that I just left the group and I'm no longer in the group. So it actually works, which is really good. All right, I think that is good. Yeah, that's good. We were able to leave the group. So all you need to do now is just listen to the WebSocket events, so that way everything takes place live. Is NestJS the jam nowadays? I would say that NestJS is definitely getting a lot more popular. So I wouldn't sleep on NestJS, to be honest. I would say maybe give it, maybe a year or so, and it'll definitely get even more popular. It's grown a lot since when I first started using it 2 years ago. It's grown a lot since then. All right. If the owner is leaving the group, find the next user and make them owner. Okay. I will worry about this. Let's see. With such amazing skills, how does your interviews and jobs going for you? Well, right now I'm working full time right now, so I'm not in the interview process right now. But I started a new job about like 9 months ago, and I would say that the process wasn't that bad, honestly. It was pretty fun. Asana looks good. I've been looking for project management softwares for small projects. Recently, I've been using Jira, but it seems overkill for small projects. Yeah, I think Jira does offer a lot of great features. If you like Jira though, like there's nothing wrong with it, I would say, Jira is not bad because I actually use Jira for work and I personally like it a lot. It's big, but like it's really I really like it a lot. Uh Quick question, are you sending a request to the socket IO every second for a live messaging? What do you, not live messaging, no, but I am sending a message every 5 seconds to get the updated status, like the updated presence of the user. So basically, you can see over here, every 5 seconds, it's going to get the online group users event from the backend, from the WebSocket server. So that way we can actually receive the updated online users and offline users list. So we know who's online and who's offline. Have you gotten a lot done in the last few days? We did. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go back to Asana. I'm gonna take this and let me copy this and delete this. Let me create a follow-up task. So I'm gonna create a follow-up task for this. So where is it right now? Okay. So I think what we'll do next is we'll need to send and receive the events whenever the group transfer happens for the owner. So basically, on we basically whenever we transfer the group owner, we need to emit event to the front end, so that way the front end knows who's the new owner. How do you listen for requests on the front end? Well, you basically use the socket.io client, and you basically just call socket.on, which is what we're doing. For example, right over here, socket on, and we basically receive the event whenever it's being emitted from the server. Asana has a free trial if you want to test it out, because I'm on the free trial right now. All right, I'm gonna be right back real quick. I apologize. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. But for those who are just tuning in, I'm gonna be right back. Uh, in the meantime, you guys can, just I guess chat with each other. I'll be right back in about a couple minutes. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, let's see. All right. Sorry about that. Just have to use the bathroom real quick. Keep up the good work, bro. Going to go eat now. Bye bye. All right, Hyper Ultimate, take it easy, man. Enjoy your food. Do you like ASMR? I like rain sounds. Like sometimes, what I would used to do is I would play like thunderstorms or rain sounds or nature sounds like forests, and I would put that while I would lay in bed, and it kind of just helps me fall asleep sometime. Sometimes. Akshat, welcome to the stream. How are you? Okay. Hey Gravity, how are you? Feels good to be home. I live in a massive city, so I got lost. So yeah, that was fun. I lost my Hellcat, but then I was able to find it. Walked for 3.5 miles and got 9,850 steps. Accidentally walked into gang territory, so that was fun. Luckily, I had my firearm on my hip, but yeah, at least I got home safe. Damn, you lost your Hellcat. I mean, at least you found it though. That because a Hellcat is a really nice car. I'm assuming Dodge Challenger, right? Okay, let me take this. All right. Are you using like a database session for connected user to socket or Redis? Um, I think right now I'm using database sessions right now. Yeah, luckily I found it. It's a Dodge 2020 Challenger. Okay, it goes for 60K. Yeah, they're really expensive cars. They're really nice cars, yeah. I see them a lot here. Alright, so pay attention to the right side window. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give owner to Aiden. And now you can see that we received the on group owner update. I'm gonna go ahead and also log in as Ibrahim right now. Um, alright, so right now I do need to refresh though. For now, let's go over here. Alright, so watch this. On this window as well, I should also receive the on. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna give owner to Anson. So you see how I receive the on group owner update. On group owner update. Okay, there we go. So we are updating the owner. Perfect. This is exactly what we want. I posted a pic of the gang in general. They dangerous, I know for a fact. Oh, yeah, I bet. How big is your city? Um, well, I mean, I live in Phoenix, and there's like, I think like 2 million people that live here. But then there's also like surrounding cities that border Phoenix, like Mesa, Tempe, Scottsdale, and those pretty much add up. There's, I think, around like 4 million people, I think, around the area, I think. Hiren Patel, welcome to the stream. Good morning to you. What's your total experience of React? About like 2 years, I'd say. Okay, so we're receiving the event, which is good. So that means we can just literally update the group owner. Only problem is that I don't want to receive it as the client myself. Received on group owner update. It should really emit it to everyone but myself that's in the room. But it's fine. Yo, what's going on, Displant? How are you? All right, so let's test this out. All right, so I just basically gave Iden owner. You see how it disappears? You see how that plus icon disappears? And on the other screen, you can see now I have owner. So I can right click and give owner. Now I have owner on this other account. I can give Iden owner as well. So now I can basically just give owner to whoever I want. Let's go back to Chrome real quick. Let's go over here. So now I am the owner. I'm going to give it to Anson. Okay. Anson is the owner. Let's give it to Iden. I hate these tabs. Okay, let's give it to Iden. So now Iden's the owner. I can give the owner to Ibrahim. I can give the owner to someone who's offline as well. Right? But yeah, now we can transfer the owner. So here's what I'll do. Let's transfer it back to Anson. So I'll kick. So let me kick one person. Hey Jack, how's it going? So let me just kick one user. So let's kick Zebra. Zebra's gone. Let me now give owner to Ibrahim. Ibrahim is now the owner. Let's let Ibrahim kick Marley. And then we'll transfer the owner to Iden. Iden's now the owner. Let's kick Ibrahim. And let's transfer the owner back to Anson. And now Anson's the owner, and I can now kick Iden. And there we go. That's how the transfer feature works. I guess you can say you were border neighbors. You live like 5 hours away from me. Yeah, I've actually driven to California before from Arizona. It was about a 5-hour drive to LA. Hey Jack, welcome back to the stream. Hey, Lotchake, welcome to the stream. Damn, this is honestly great first programming stream I'm enjoying. Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying the stream, my friend. For online offline status, how would you suggest I set that up? Also, sorry for being gone for 2 hours. My wife was very happy to see me, though, of course, when I got home. I live in LA. You don't have to be sorry, Gravity. You're absolutely fine, my friend. I would set up online offline. Well, the way that I'm doing it right now is basically when uh, so I have this sidebar component. So whenever this sidebar component renders, what I do is I emit this event immediately, so that way I can get the online group users. So basically, when I emit this event on the back end it receives this event. Uh, right over here, get online group users, and then what happens here is I find the group in the database because I want to get all the users that are in that group. What I do is I go through each user that's in the group, and then I basically check to see if the user's online by checking to see if that user's mapped into this sessions. The way that I'm handling, the way that I'm like checking to see if the user's online is I have this map that maps the user's ID to their connected socket instance. So when they connect to the server, we set their ID to their socket. If they disconnect, we remove them from the socket. So from here, what I'm doing is I'm calling this.sessions.getUserSocket for each user. And what happens is if this returns a user, if this returns the socket itself, right, then that means we know that the user is online. So I basically just add it to an array, although we're gonna have to modify this a little bit. But I basically just add it to an array, and then I add the offline users to an offline user array. And then I just emit this event, online users and offline users with the payload. On the front end, again, we listen to what happens additionally is we basically do this. We also listen to this online group users received event. So every single time we receive this event, we're just going to update the online users, okay? And then the offline users will just be rendered by filtering out all the users that are in the Redux store for the group, filtering out all the online users from there. Um, and also, we have a set interval. So every 5 seconds currently, we will emit this event to get the updated online group users received. So every single time you emit this event, the gateway will send another event back. So when I emit this event, we're going to receive event. And then when the component unmounts, we clear the interval and then we also remove the event listener. Hopefully that makes sense. I find that you placed all the events in a single file. It will be more readable if you split them to respective modules. So the reason why I put them all in one file is only for temporary purposes, because right now, I have this WebSocket class, and I don't know if it'd be a good idea to inject this WebSocket, this gateway, anywhere in our application. I think you should be able to do it without any issues, I think. I've just never tried it, so that's why I'm not sure of what will happen or what side effects will occur if I do inject this class. I think it should be fine though. But once I figure out a solution, we'll definitely actually separate everything into their own file 100%. Because right now it's like a really large file and it's really annoying to scroll through it all. But you're definitely right. I only did this temporarily just so that we can just speed up the development process. But I'll have to find a way. You know what? Let me do this real quick. Ty Groose, thank you for following my Twitch. I appreciate it. Thank you, I appreciate it. Obviously, it won't look like the same, but I got music frameworks. Oh, well, I mean, you'll be fine. Hey, the Snake, how are you? I'm doing good, how about you? Let me see your car. That actually looks really nice. Yeah, I really like the design of the Challengers. The Chargers are okay, but I don't really like the design of the Chargers. But Challenger is a car that I would definitely get. Dodge Challenger. But welcome back to the stream this night. We were just working on some additional stuff. I decided to actually properly document everything in Asana so that way it's a lot easier to keep track, and it does really help a lot. So we were able to get transfer group owner working. So um, I'll do another demo real quick. You probably already know the white Durango is my wife's. I actually didn't know that, but it's a nice car nonetheless. All right, so watch this. So right now I have a group right now. I'm gonna go ahead and add some users. So I'll go ahead and add Iden now. Now I have to refresh because the socket is a little bit messed up. So now Iden is added over here, and I can see that the group is over here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add Ibrahim, who is logged in on this window. So let's go ahead and do that. So Ibrahim at instant.com. So now Ibrahim can now see this group. Let's go ahead and add Marley, which is on this bottom right window. And then now Marley's over here, and I can see the group right over here. Now, so the feature that we just implemented, well, actually, I'll also show you how this works as well. So we added the kick user and transfer owner feature so it actually works now. So here's what I'll do. Let's show you guys how the transfer owner works. So I'm going to transfer the owner to Iden. And you're going to see that right now, pay close attention to the icon. You're going to see that when I transfer the owner, this icon will disappear and it will go ahead and show it for Iden. So transfer owner, the icon disappears and the icon shows up over here. I'm going to transfer the owner to this user, Marley. So now Marley is the owner. I'm going to transfer the owner to Ibrahim. So let's do that. Ibrahim now is the owner, and it will transfer to Anson again. Okay. We will add an icon to show who the owner is. Anyways, so now, what we want to do is this. We want to go ahead and kick some users now. So I'm going to kick a user, so I'll kick Marley. So you see when I kick Marley, she's gone from the participants tab. And then you can see that they get redirected to the group. They get redirected to the base groups page. Now I'm going to go ahead and transfer the owner to Ibrahim and let Ibrahim kick someone else. So I'll let Ibrahim kick myself. So now watch this. I'm going to go ahead and actually click on this route over here. So since I'm not in that group channel right now, nothing will happen if I kick myself from here. Nothing will happen. Let me give Iden owner. And let's let Iden kick Ibrahim. And now Iden gets kicked. I'll go ahead and do anson@gmail.com. There we go. I can add users back, give the owner to Anson. Let's go over here. Let's, that's interesting. So we just discovered another unintentional side effect where when I added the user, wait, I just transferred the owner to the Anson, but okay, that was a little bit weird. So I added him to the group, and then I transferred the owner. So why did that not actually do anything? Let's try this again. Okay, so okay, so this happened